Hello, good evening, and a very warm welcome to Rangers Radio. Hello, good evening, welcome to Rangers Radio. Join myself, Fox Chair, on the show this evening is the one and only GB. Evening, GB.
Good evening, Oxchair. Thanks for having us on tonight, mate, and ready to talk about all things Rangers.
No, thank you for having me on tonight. You just not saying it.
I know you're absent without leave. You're AWOL.
No. My holiday form is in. Unlike others. Yes. How you doing, mate? Rangers rumours, is it? Rangers rumours. There's more rumours about us than there is about Jermaine Genius, mate.
True, aye. Outside the Rangers, Ox doing very well, mate. Can't complain. But there seems to be every day there's always new news and good progress on the stadium. I've seen that's the crane away and they're removing the covers for the grass. So things are moving pretty fast in that area, the Ox.
Well, they can always turn the floodlights on and work 24/7. You know what I mean?
Especially with our special lights.
Aye, good news, mate. Good news for everybody concerned if that project's moving on fast. And it'll not been how do I put this put my words wisely, GB? It's not been the unmitigated disaster that someone made it out to be. I think we've always got to remember what we're trying to achieve, yeah?
I agree, Ox. I think now that everything's kind of settling down with it and we're seeing progression, there's probably been people maybe in other areas stoking the fire that maybe we should have just been listening to our own self.
Never, GB.
I know. I did see one site that didn't seem to have an affiliation with anybody, but they were saying that it was going to be the January at the earliest. So, well, look at that, man.
Hope everything goes smooth, and the rumours that we could be in for the D game in the Cup, the first game back, would be great. By the way, well, I'm on that, mate. 5:30, 5:45 kickoffs this Saturday night. Don't get it, don't understand it. For supporters, all right, mate.
Just plays in the hand, say, the TV companies, Ox, doesn't it? I mean,
the TVs they'll make you tip, but whatever deal you're getting off the TV companies, you'll lose half the revenue after stadium, mate. I know the crowd was poor on Saturday, and we know a lot of the reasons concerning that, but one of the biggest ones was the kick-off time, mate. Yeah?
Mm-hmm. Aye, it's a time of the night where folk are probably prepping to go out, Ox, like they're wanting to start their night out, rather than, like I says, go and watch the football and then have to, like he says, go up the road and get ready and go back out kind of thing. So, aye, it's no ideal, and plus people as well working and that, try to get home for a Saturday shift and stuff like that. It's hard going at times, Ox. So
we'll just get it confirmed, mate. We'll have a wee poll, yeah?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All school players sort it out. I know he's been busy. He's been doing his work for charity and he's getting vouchers for it, or getting out vouchers. He's always doing his work for charity, that man. Right, all school players, we got a poll in. It's simple. 5:30 kick-off Saturday evening, good or bad? Yeah? So, because we've got a lot of armchair fans, they might think it's good, GB. Yeah?
Aye, well, you might have been out doing the
I
family.
Think it's a better idea. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Doing the family duties during the day and then you sit down to the football at night. That's
you do the family duties at half time and don't miss it.
In some cases, you don't need to do any family duties at all.
Or as Fox waits for the board to go up to see how many added minutes there is, mate.
He's always praying for another 20.
Aye. Anyway, so we'll just get that and see what people think. Well, there's two on the show tonight, a lot of people on holiday. So give us a phone, anything tonight, anything. I'll take relationships, you can take DIY, all right?
I'll take the structural stuff. If anybody wants to talk about the stadium and stuff like that, then they can come forward. I'm sure there's some safety certificates I can dig out somewhere.
For somewhere. Right, come and join us, 01413561972. I was listening every day. I hear that there is people close to leaving, but I've been hearing that now for nearly 2 weeks, but I don't think there's people coming in to people leave GB for the wages. And it's as simple as that. We've got players that are low producing, overpaid, and they've not made the appearances in different levels, Cantwell wants to leave the club, so fine. Get a club and go, But obviously, it's not that simple, mate.
No, Ox, it's no. And in the times gone by, all that's usually kept nice and quiet, isn't it? But I think the manager done the right thing in hindsight, Ox, we make it clear that it wasn't him, because I think there was a kind of persona there that it was Vermont that had the issue with Cantwell. So I'm happy that the manager has kind of came out and cleared it up early doors, because then we all know it's down to Cantwell to leave the club now. It's not down to Clermont. You know what I mean? And Clermont's made it clear that, I think he even said in that last interview that that he says that people have made it clear they don't want to be here, but they're still hanging about the training ground. So he's clearly a bit miffed that they're still here as well. You know what I mean? So I agree with you, Ox. I think there's not going to be much movement unless we do move these boys on, because I think the board, Mr. Bennett and stuff like that, have made it clear that they're steadfast in making sure that they get this wage bill done and they prepare for the future. They make sure that there's a better structure to the club going forward.
Aye. Listen, we know we've been paying a lot of money in the last few years for players that haven't been on the pitch. If they players had been on the pitch and we're successful, there's no the issue, GB.
No, because you're automatically then, Ox, aren't you? You're qualifying for Champions Leagues and stuff like that. Everybody's happy. There's good revenue coming in because you're, like it says, you're automatically qualifying for there, and like it says, you're getting money for titles and stuff like that. So, aye, the wage probably structure would have probably been covered with all that. But when you're no winning and there's no great revenue coming in, then like I says, these wages seem to stand out like a sore thumb. And I think maybe the club's been looking about other clubs and seeing what they're getting for value for money, and maybe seeing that we are obviously spending too much for mediocre players.
No bang for my buck, mate. No bang for my buck. I can confirm the rumour that Mr. Southside spread about me is 100% true, GB. I was in the seat next to Mr. Scott Wright at the weekend. There you go. That was a pleasure for him.
Were you comparing hairdressers, were you?
No, not at all. But what I will say, I beat him to the seat, mate.
Still got that pace in you then, eh?
No, not at all. I just showed more heart and desire.
To beat him there. How was he? Was he looking fit and ready?
I don't know, mate. I was watching the game.
Well, he's been another one again, similar. That's his sitting with an injury, Ox, and another player that needs to move on. Clearly, he's had umpteen opportunities. Ox, got nothing. Like, don't hate the guy, but like clearly, like I says, there's things.
Nice lad, mate.
Aye, there's things there that he really needs to look for in his career going forward. If he picked the right team, Ox, he would be a vital player for them. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, if you were on X and you're going to get Y, and there's a big difference between the two of them, mate, you're staying there for your family. Mm-hmm. That's the problem, mate. That's the problem with every football club's got, mate. When you give somebody a decent sized contract for their level, and they'll not move on, mate. So now with football, that guy can wait to the 1st of January, and then he can make his move and he can sign for somebody for nothing. That's what happened.
And you're right about the family side of things. I mean, even that move when it was Beale, and he went out to Turkey and stuff like that, he's probably, like his agent said, look, we're matching your wages, there's got to be a transfer fee. But he's maybe went out there, Ox, and he's looked at the kind of the lifestyle and stuff like that and went, nah, this is just no for me. I mean, so he's got to take that into consideration as well. And like he says, if the missus wasn't happy with it, I mean, that's the choice over, isn't it? I mean, it's the family does make a big sacrifice moving with these football players and stuff like that. So Like I said, I totally understand why they've got to take that into account. It's just unfortunate as us as fans, we're just desperate for folk to move on so that we can get fresh bodies in.
Aye, of course, mate, of course, and we're interested to see what kind of players come in. I mean, not everybody's like Fox. Fox says you've only got one football team, but you can have as many wives as you want, you know?
He's a bad man, that Fox, isn't he?
Terrible.
Especially when it's these sponge mixes seem to go a walk as well.
Aye, it's not a happy bunny at the moment. Not a happy bunny at the moment. Listen, in all these players that from to be involved in the club or leaving the club, is there any that you particularly like?
I mean, I do like Cantwell, Hawks and that, but again, the whole scenario where he's went to the manager twice and said that, I'm definitely wanting to leave. Now, that could be for personal reasons and stuff like that, granted. Again, we don't know. But I just think it'll be a waste, because I think in a different time when he was off fit and firing and stuff like that, I think he would have been a right good player for us, and he would have been a good selling player. I think we would have made good money. But unfortunately, it seems to be a thing that has followed him as an attitude thing. Just no willing to play instruction or play for what the manager wants rather than what he wants. But flip side of that, Ox, what I would say is that in the past we've seen, like say, a Gascoigne with Walter Smith. Walter Smith probably put up with a lot with Gaza, but I think there was a mutual respect there. So one worked for the other, and I think, like I says, the two of them, I would much rather the two of them would worked it out. I
don't think you're comparing apples for oranges there, mate. Gaza
no,
and Cantwell.
I'm not. I mean, like you says, mate, there's vast differences there. But what I'm just meaning is like it's a maverick kind of thing, isn't it? Like, no many managers could put up with Gaza, but like Walter Smith could and got the best out of him, you would say, as well. So I just think somebody will eventually get the best out of Cantwell. And just unfortunately, it's not for us.
I don't know for that boy. Listen, he came in and he had a big impact, didn't he? You know, and he was a fan's favourite, let's be honest. That first 6 months, we were thinking, right, okay. He's got something about him. He can play in that role and make things happen. But if you look what we actually done last season, mate, nothing. Big games, never got in the park. The manager take the mark because he wouldn't play the instruction at the start, try to build a new team, and then his performances at times in other games were just, they weren't great, mate. He's not the kind of guy who's going to go flying into tackles. It's all show, mate. He's a guy that you want to get the ball and make things happen. This day you're good at, and he never done it consistently enough. And obviously it doesn't look as if that him and the manager have got this, they got on great, and that's for the outside looking in, mate, without anything being confirmed. The manager's got to juggle a lot of balls to a lot of personalities, and then Cantwell's not liked it when he's maybe said, I can't guarantee you're going to start. So he's I don't want to be in anyway. I'm guessing here, GB, but so the manager says, well, if you don't want to be here, we'll put you on the transfer list. We've still got him, mate. I think that says everything.
But by the way, Ox, again, we need to look back to the previous manager as well. Like you says, when he signed in January, for January ended that season, you're like, right, we've got a player here. He scored in the Old Firm as well. Granted, it was a meaningless game, but still, we kind of looked there as if that was him coming into a good pre-season and stuff like that. And then Beale, the first day of the season, puts him on the bench against Kilmarnock, and you're like, how's that worked out? So there's clearly been something as well that's been brewed there that pre-season, and it's continued. Unfortunately, you're thinking maybe Clermont came in and it would reignite Cantwell, because even up to that point, we're like, well, Beale's lost the plot, dropping Cantwell, and then the next minute the manager comes in and he's having the same issues with Cantwell. So there's clearly something that's changed in that pre-season for last season as well, Ox.
Yeah, we'll never know, mate. We're speculating, but listen, I wouldn't be upset. I don't want anybody to be at our club that doesn't want to be there, you know. I get what you say. He came in, he was a fan's favourite for a while. Obviously, Hadji, I feel a bit of sympathy with Hadji. I wasn't Hadji's greatest fan. I can't argue with his numbers, and he's done he's done some stuff in big games, Hadji. He was involved in, obviously, the 55 season, but that was a few years ago, mate. My big sympathy comes for the real bad injury he got, mate. I really feel sorry for any young pro getting that, mate.
It's amazing how that injury, Ox, kind of. Do you know, like before that, he was actually looking one of the mainstays in that team, wasn't he? Yeah, you were thinking Hadji was got to be about for seasons to come, and then, like I say, he gets that injury, and then time just moved on. Until the squad just totally changed, and he was right down the pecking order when he came back. I would say, Ox, to be honest, I don't think he's came back ever as the same player. Even as much as he had his flaws when he was first signed and stuff like that, when he came back for that injury, he just still hasn't looked the player that we signed either. He's got the touch and stuff like that, but I don't know what it is. Sometimes it must be with these kind of knee injuries, Ox, that you're always maybe got it in the back of your mind that something's going to happen again or whatever, but he just never looked as if he was on form. And with Beale and stuff like that, like, he never really showed Beale that he deserved to be back in the team, if you know what I mean. And he was just saying that he wanted to play football and stuff, but to be honest, he wasn't like pushing the likes of Lammers or anybody like that out of the road. He didn't look like he's a player to keep a hoddy. So again, he's just one that, granted, he's kept away for the socials and he's been playing in the B team and stuff like that. So
good guy. He's a top guy, isn't he?
Aye, for that one, you just hope that there's, like I says, there's some kind of go between, and it gets tidied up, and the two of them can move on for it and end their time with each other the right way. Ox, I would say, like you said, with Hadji, you send the best wishes, because it's funny, see when you see back the photographs and the videos of him sitting in that dressing room when they're all celebrating 55. He's a very young man there, you know what I mean, and now he's married and stuff like that. And it's funny how, like, he was just like a wee boy winning that trophy, and I think he'll always have fond memories of Rangers no matter what.
Aye, listen, he'd go with our best wishes, and Cantwell would go with our good wishes, you know what I mean? There's a difference, mate. You know, I think Cantwell could, Hadji could come back and do the half-time draw. I don't know if I'll see Cantwell back, you know. That's just the difference. That's only my opinion, GB.
Cantwell will always be that kind of what-if player, won't he? Whereas Hadji will be that kind of player, like, we'll always probably remember the injury, Ox. We'll always say that injury had done him. That was the end of his Rangers career. And much like the other ones, like, say, Kent, it's been and gone, and Rels, it's been and gone. It's proven that if you just knuckle down and stay at a club, then your career can still flourish. Whereas a lot of them, you look at Kent now, he's struggling, he's wanting to leave Turkey. Relis, I don't even know where he is. I don't know. He's in the back of beyond. So sometimes the grass isn't always bluer, Ox, when you leave.
Aye, man. There's no many British players made a success in the Turkey movement. So I get what people would go. It's tax-free and it's usually big salaries, no? But if you look at it historically, mate, I'm trying to think of anybody that's worked it for.
Nobody has really even caught the headlines, Ox, and even when they're playing like in Europe and stuff like that, maybe that was it Tammy Abraham? Was he one of the ones? And that other guy that we were linked with, the Belgian boy, they're kind of name, but again, no British, like you say. It's just that, I don't know. Like you say, it must be just the money, Ox. They go for the money, make a bit of dough, and still young enough to go and play elsewhere.
All right. We digress, but that is the main subject of speculation at the moment, mate, isn't it?
It is, Ox. Again, it's been very, very quiet about us looking for players, and then it's kind of ramped up with speculation about a couple of left wingers. The Sima one was a bit of a sad one the other day, Ox. Granted, I think it just came down to money and maybe time as well, that we just Sima kind of just sit about waiting for Rangers to make a decision, I think. But you never know. Down the line, maybe like I says, when we've got ourselves sorted out and Seamus contract's up, maybe there's a chance there. But I think somebody said the other day there, it's not a great loss because he was another one that was injury prone, so it might have been a blessing in disguise.
Seamer, aye, I liked him when he played. By the way, he was a slow burner for me. I mean, even when he scored that goal, I'm trying to remember who it was against. PSV, I think, last year. He scored a goal. I was screaming to get him off. And then he wasn't great. Then all of a sudden he started putting in performances and became consistent. His work ethic was superb. But again, he got injured, didn't he? He got injured training. And then we never seen him when we needed him. Anyway, we better get this phone line open, mate.
Aye, get the callers in and see what the topics are about the night, mate.
What do I want to talk about? Let's hear from East.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye, man. Obviously we don't know, mate. I mean, again, it's pure speculation. We'd like to be, but it was good to see Cortez allegedly back on the grass. I know the picture doing the rounds on social media was an old photograph for last winter, mate. But if the rumours are true, and I'll say the rumours that he's back in the grass training, that's a good thing, mate.
Yeah, maybe it shows that there has been an improvement there, getting players turned around Ox and getting them back fit and ready for games for us. With him, I says he's vital to now because there's no much on that left side. Yefty's done a great job filling in at times on that side. Atondo, again, it's funny when there's speculation about him, he's actually played better. And so having Cortez back, that boy just needs games, Ox, because we need to kind of see what we're getting with this, because he's got to be a kind of permanent signing next season. And I really do want him to kind of knuckle down and hopefully stay away from injuries, just to see what the potential is going to be there. Because if he's got to be another stop-start player with injuries, then really nothing really changes with that side of things, doesn't it?
No, listen, I know you can make people more robust and you can get your training methods, your stretching, your warm-ups, you can improve all that to the best. But, mate, it's a contact sport. People stumble and fall and do unusual things. I mean, his injury against Hearts it looked as if he just stumbled and fell. And then my initial thoughts were it's hamstring. But it turned out it wasn't. But I don't know how you legislate for it, mate. It's just football. That happens.
Aye, Ox. This is most of the stuff that we have seen. Even like Raskins one. I mean, he's another one we've not really heard for. He was meant to have been back by now.
No, I think that was a bad tackle, GB.
I know.
That was a red card in any normal game of football, mate.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that the injuries today with him. I'm just saying that like we couldn't legislate for a pre-season game that he was got to get a tackle done on him like that. And like I says, the manager's saying, all right, it's all right, we're looking about 4 weeks, and then like that's just us. I think looking at pre-season, what's that? Maybe up to 6-7 weeks now. So again, I just hope
the initial diagnosis was 2 months, mate.
Was it? Right, sorry.
Yeah. I think we're on about 5 or 6 weeks now, so we should start picking up things about him shortly. But I get your point, mate.
Mm-hmm. And again, another one that's been just unlucky with the whole injury scenario. Ox. Again, boy, just needs games, Ox. And I think Cortez falls into that bracket as well. He needs games to become more robust, if you know what I mean.
Aye, it'd be interesting if you had Jeffrey playing on that left side. Would you play Cortez on the right, mate? Okay.
Aye, and then you've got, like you says, that then the quality goes up on the right side, doesn't it? So you've got Czerny and Cortez. I mean, that when you're saying that's two good players challenging for a position there. But again, it would weaken the left, wouldn't it? I think, I don't know, if the boys came in, he's always been played on that left side box, isn't he? So
he's going to play the left, mate. His whole game's about swinging it in with that left foot, mate. It's actually grown in me. My initial reaction in the first couple of games, we've seen him playing at left back, I thought, bomb scare. I'm still not saying he's going to be the greatest defender, but I like his simplicity, his game going forward, the pace and what he tries to do, mate. It's just simple. He's trying to get it, pass it quick, or get it down the line and cross it into the box. I have no problem with it.
No, and that's, to be honest, Ox, that's his job, isn't it? I mean, you're wanting assists and stuff like that off him, but it's really for the forward line to do their job, Ox. You can't expect, let's say, defenders and all that to be the ones that are contributing goals. They're meant to be doing another job for you. So I know, let's say, time will tell with that side of things. It's strange that we seem to have been moving on, that we've, let's say, automatically been linked with two people on the left side. So I was wondering if we did have, when we're persevering with Seema, that's where he was going to be kind of brought in for, that kind of left side, strengthening up that side of things rather than the kind of striking option. So I'm not surprised we're linked with two left-sided wingers now. And
I think again it's all speculation, mate. You know.
Aye.
I'm going to put you, GB, on the spot. Yeah.
Yeah. Aye.
I know you like that. I know you like a bit of pressure.
Aye. Right areas. In the right areas.
At the right time.
Aye.
With the right people. Right, okay. You've got to pick 3 players to leave the club. Yeah?
Yeah.
Your choice. Who are
they? Hadji. Hadji, Wright, and Matondo.
Okay.
Yourself, Fox?
Hadji, because I just want him to move on with his career, and obviously decent wages and little return. Wish him all the best. Cantwell, shake hands, move on, find yourself another club, free up the wages. And I wouldn't disagree with Rabbi Matondo, mate. That's fine. Big wages, move on, and then 3, and then see what the manager does, and hopefully we get some decent transfer fees in for the 3 of them. Yeah, because they've all got strengths to their game. And it's just not worked out for them consistently at our place, so you move on, try and get money in, get them off the wage bill. Aye, that's fair. We're pretty similar. And my reasons for Scott Wright is, mate, because he's got so little time left in his contract, and he's not a big earner compared to some of the others. If you were basing it on who I think should get the door, Scott would be one also. I wouldn't disagree with you, GB.
Aye, and I suppose he helps with this kind of coefficient thing now, doesn't he, for a season, if it comes to it. You know, I mean, it's just one of the tick box exercises, really. To be fair, Ox, he's an all right guy to come off the bench if you're kind of winning a game and you're just wanting to see out a game. But aye, no, we're again, if we're looking to challenge for trophies and titles, then we're really needing.
He's had his chances, mate. We're all these managers, and it's not really happened yet.
Aye, and we've seen the quality difference in even with Tierney coming in a couple of games, Ox, how much he's improved the team. Unfortunately, Scott Wright's never done that ever since he's signed. He's never came on the party of like, oh, Christ almighty, he's lifted the team. That boy Tierney has. I know he didn't have his greatest game, but he was a pest as well at the weekend. So that's all I'm looking for. I'm looking for somebody to make defenders worried. Again, Kent done that all at the time on that left side and stuff like that. So we've been badly needing somebody on the right to kind of put the pressure on the opposition defences, mate.
Yeah, right. I've just been saying something for us. We mentioned, somebody I said that we've mentioned players being loyal, and I think I might have been talking about Canwell at the time, and if you want to leave, move on. And what you're saying is, you work out who this is came from. Why be loyal at Tav? And then the fans can't wait to get rid of you. That's came for somebody. You can work out who it is, GB, yeah?
Could be a friend of the show.
He's out with a big stick looking for an Amazon driver at the moment.
Oh, right, okay, aye. Well, I definitely know who it is then. One, I'm still surprised it's still at the club, Ox, because it seemed dead set that he was moving on. The social media side for it, I says he's kept himself to himself. He's been professional throughout, and he's always technically fit and available, Ox. So again, I think even folk have said, Ox, when if Tav leaves, then we'll fully know how much he's gave to the club. Because time will tell. Like I says, I heard Southside Stevie last night about the whole Tav situation. He'll get dropped and it'll be Sterling that'll go in there. But again, we've not had the chance to really see Sterling deal with that right side a lot of the time, Ox. We don't know if he might be a disaster on the right. He's a solid big guy, but we might lose a lot of quality going forward on that side, so we just don't know. But
I don't think Sterling was great at the weekend, mate, but anybody can have a bad game, you know.
I know, again, that's what I'm saying, Ox. He's another player that we just need to settle down in a position and see the quality, Ox. But back to Tav, great servant, but for the way things are looking now in the transfer window, and you're talking about lengthy contracts and stuff like that, then it looks as though Tav's got to be about for the rest of this season minimum anyway.
Aye, well, he's good. Well, I think he's contracted to 2026, mate. Yeah. You know?
Aye.
Mm-hmm. Aye, you know, so we'll see. We'll see. And listen, I don't think football-wise Tav's the biggest problem we've got. You know, but obviously he's not been great this season, you know, and the sands of time wait for no man, and maybe a lot of football. He's been really consistent turning up, mate. And obviously might have caught up with him. Plus, as you well know, mate, everybody gets older.
Aye. Aye, Peter Pan.
Maybe the weekend there I thought it was Peter Pan. I'm suffering for it now, but
we're allowed to live, mate. Ox, to be honest, like you says, Tav's position now is not a priority. I don't think to be trying to fix it now.
So I think again, I'll put you on the spot, Mr. GB. What is the priority positions? Pick 3.
Oh, right. Well, I'll definitely go for striker. Right. As much as Big Dessers has been taking pelters on that, I think he's needing a horn up there. Danilo looked rusty, so he's got to clearly need time. And the other young boy that was signed, Egeman, that he's not even up to first team level training. Although I'm hearing that he's also progressing. So I think we need more firepower, Ox. I would hope for another striker. Left side definitely needs strengthened. And that number 10 position, Ox, I think we can get away with the number 6 position. I think we've probably got enough in there that can just do a job between Raskin and maybe Sterling, Dowell if it comes to it. But that number 10 position is, I think pivotal for us to be scoring more goals, Ox. If there was one, see if you put me on the spot and says you've only got one signing to make, I would say give me a good, proper, creative number 10 that can help score goals and get assists.
Have you got a number in your head which would be fine? Is it 10 assists and 6 goals? Would that be fine? Or have you thought about it that deeply?
No, not deeply. I just want somebody that's going to...
What are you doing at night when you're trying to get to sleep there?
Keep myself busy with other things.
Just wonder.
I mean, the number 10, Ox, in the past, because it's been the 4-4-2, he's been the number 10's been like another striker, really. So when I'm saying number 10, that could be another striker beside Dessers. It could be a creative player like a Cantwell. I mean, it's one of the ones. What I would say is if we're strapped for cash and we're trying to get wage bills down, then I would rather we ploughed more money into that position, because I think that's a position that if we get it right, then we've got a guy in there for a good couple of years that will contribute to the team.
All right. So what you're saying, stop me if I get this wrong, you're comfortable that the defence can keep the ball enough, but the problem is that we need to score more goals. Is that what you're saying?
Aye, basically. I think we're good enough as a squad to deal with everybody else in the SPFL.
But we're not scoring enough goals. Is that what the point?
Aye, no putting teams to bed, Ox. I think that we leave it too long to allow these teams to creep in or get a corner or a header or something just to get them back in the game. Because let's face it, Ox, a lot of these teams are just looking for a draw off of us. Points a win for them, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. I get it. I think we would have to bring in somebody, especially if you get guys like if Cantwell goes out the door and Hadji goes out the door. Even though Hadji's not really played for us for a couple of years, that your numbers in there, it doesn't look as if young Lowry's going to be the answer. So all of a sudden you're only left with maybe Lawrence or Diamandi playing one further up, and that's open for debate. GB in it. I think it could happen if he plays one further up. But what I will say is, one of the problems I've got, I've said it before and I'll say it again, and I'm not changing my mind of what I've seen, and it might turn round once he gets all his players in. I do not like the 4-2-3-1.
No, he had me in pre-season, Ox, and that's why I was getting a bit peeved off, because you were seeing the same things. I was getting ripped open in the middle of that midfield, and you're trying to get two young boys, let's face it, inexperienced boys, to try and deal with like top teams, top players and stuff like that going against you. And it's sometimes you feel as though you're asking them to do too much while others are not doing enough. You know what I mean? Like, it just feels as though it's all on their shoulders, and that's why I don't like the system. I don't like it that you're leaving it to two guys and it's all their responsibility. Now, granted, like I says, they've all got instructions and they're meant to come back and stuff like that when they're getting the opposition's attacking. But 9 times out of 10, when you look at the goals that's been leaked, it's either been, like I say, because we've been broke open in the middle of the midfield because there's not enough numbers there. And it always looks as though it's...
Remember the start, GB? We haven't conceded a goal in the league, mate, for the opposition scoring.
No, we've no Ox. The Kiev, though, like I say, granted, like I say, we went down to 10 men in that, but the Kiev, you could see it more with a quality team, how they ripped us open at times. So maybe that's where you're right, Ox. Maybe with the right players in that formation, and knowing how the manager wants to play, it'll be all right.
Sell for me, mate. It would take a big sell. I don't like it. I watched England try to play it in the European Championships, and I wasn't struck with it, mate. And let's be honest, they've got some good players playing at the top end, Foden and Jude, and they've got Harry Kane or Dessers. I know Dessers is maybe scoring more goals so far this season. There's a difference, mate, in there. I don't like it watching them try to do it. I just don't like it, mate. I don't think it's the best football system, but maybe I'm wrong and people have corrected us. It's all about opinions, isn't it?
No, you're left. I think Ox, you're left too high up the pitch. You've seen that, like you says, with England. They were like scrambling to get back a lot of the time when they were getting broke on and stuff like that. So, and that's tap players, like you're saying. With us, like it says, you've got two young boys there and that too that are trying to deal with it. And granted, that they've done all right. They've, like you says, there's not been many goals conceded, but I don't think it's fair on kind of lie on them to be the ones that have to do. I mean, you're looking at Diamandi. Diamandi's in there trying to get the ball back, plus be the one that drives forward as well. You know what I mean? And Barnes there to, like I say, sweep up. Like I says, it's asking a lot. And then you've got players, unfortunately, in the squad, Ox, who are lazy in that forward free. You've got Lawrence, who have not got the legs to run back. And then you've got, like I says, Matondo, sometimes he's too far up. And then you've got young McCausland trying to do a job back as well. And you're asking this new boy, Tierney, to come in for not having a pre-season to be doing a lot of running. It's like I said to you in the pre-season, I think it's a tactic that if the manager doesn't get his players in, he's got to have a look at it to change it.
I don't think it should matter a lot of the games we play against a lot of the teams, but I think if you like the closer games or the games where you're playing against a bit of more quality, you can get picked off. It's all about opinions, And we've played it for a while now, and at times it was all right, and then I just when you watch it and people pick you off, it'd be interesting to see if other players coming in, the managers' players, and if it improves us, mate.
Ox, do you think the tactics cost us the title last season?
No, I don't think that was the case at all, mate. It may have been a factor in it, but if you think back, there was 2 games, weren't there? Dundee and Ross County, mate. And let's be honest, the tactics shouldn't have come into it. Yeah? And if we'd have took that 5 points, the extra 5 points out of 6, mate, we took 1 out of 6. If we'd have took 5 out of 6, things could have been different. I think there's something happened. I can't put my finger on it, mate. Was the tactics a factor? Maybe. I don't know, mate. I don't know. I think it just... we didn't play well in the 2 games. And I don't know if that was particularly down to the tactics. I mean, the Ross County one was just a shambles, mate. Maybe selection. Maybe have to look at selection and put something on the manager for that. But no, I think there was a lot of things, GB. I don't know. I couldn't put my finger on it. Was the tactics a factor? Aye, maybe, but no 75%. You know what I mean?
No, I did feel that, like, no, we are bringing up the tactics and stuff like that. That, like, looking back, like previous managers, McLeish, Smith, they would probably shut up shop and been dogged in the kind of games and just scrape, like, they done Bridgemans in both games, got the 1-0s and down the road. Whereas I felt as though, come on, again, just went a bit gun-ho into the games and didn't get, like you say, the personnel to turn up and didn't get his tactics right either.
Aye. And outside the looking in, it looked as if something happened in the dressing room. Yeah, that's my thoughts on it, mate. People were maybe not getting the contracts, saying they were leaving. Yeah, and there was no guaranteed. Things start going wrong, things just get worse and it spiraled. Because they were the 2 big games, weren't they? That was the big moments, wasn't it?
Yep, sadly, it was the games I was saying. Just win these games, and I was saying at the time, just draw the Old Firm and you've won the league. And sadly, the 2 games just took it away from us. The Old Firm didn't even matter and end up.
Aye. And the Old Firm game at Ibrox, I mean, the wind was a big factor, and the freak goal they scored right at the start. You know, and it was a lot of errors in their goals and Tavernier. You know, and they weren't great, but it was the wind was a factor. So, aye, you're right. If we could have won the games, and the pressure would have been on them to come and win at our place, and we'd have took the draw, and things changed, mate. You know, we let them out of jail, but aye. I think that's affected the whole support club and everything, because I think that hangover for that period is just no lifted, mate.
No, because again, we were so close, Ox, and I think maybe that's why the managers had a bit of criticism as well during the pre-season and with what's happening now. I think a lot of folk have questioned him. Granted, he signed this extension, Ox, but I feel that the club have gave him kind of a free pass. I mean, if this season doesn't go well, then it's not. I can't really see them getting rid of him, Ox. It's like I says, I'm behind him. I back him, but I mean, his signings so far have been really good. Like the boys that he's brought in, along with Clopton, then they look decent players. They look as though they are going to be good for us. But it's that kind of way that sometimes, like you say, tactics and like falling out with players because they're not following instruction and stuff like that. Then it's horses for courses. You've got to. Like I says, you've got to just find a way to win the titles, and I think sometimes we're letting them off the hook a wee bit.
Listen, every club, it's a results-driven industry, mate. If you're not getting results, you'll be under pressure, you know. And obviously, it wasn't a good night for us last Tuesday. Circumstances conspired against us. One of the worst red cards I've ever seen, if not the worst I've ever seen, you know, because of how little was in the incident, mate, you know.
Aye, Ox, again, in a manager can't foresee for that, isn't it? It's just, but again, he did
again, people maybe saying this is in hindsight, right?
Aye.
I wouldn't have took the FDF at half time, because if you use the same argument, I think Diamandi had been booked in the first half as well. I can't remember. I think so. Yeah. So, I mean,
Yep.
I think it's a good thing with 5 substitutes that you maybe take players off it's booked, because you're using your subs and then everybody's got a clean slate. I understand the common sense behind that. And I read in some places that people saying they should have took Jeff off at half time because he's so enthusiastic and so inexperienced. And that, in hindsight, makes sense, mate.
Aye, I was going to say that's what I was going to say, Ox. That it was. Do you know? And I'm being honest with us. At the time when he got his yellow card, like he did, his first yellow card, I was like, just to make sure that he manages his game now and get him to half time. And I did honestly think that he would change it up because the way the referee was acting in that game, it seemed to be any wee silly tackle or any wee silly nudge that was always going against us. And you'd think as a manager he would sense that and go, all right, hold on a minute. We are clearly the better team here. Let's just protect us and get somebody else on who's not got a yellow card, and we've got a good 45 minutes in them. Whereas he allowed it to play out, Ox, and again, it's a learning that he's got to take for that. He's still technically an inexperienced manager. And
I don't know about that, mate. I mean, he's managed 2 teams in Belgium, team in France, and he's with us, and he played X amount of games for the Belgian national team. He's nowhere came, mate.
Young in his career, isn't he, though? Isn't he? He's new to the kind of managerial scene, in a sense. I know he's won titles and stuff like that, but I mean,
he's been a manager for a decade, mate. When do you stop becoming a novice, mate?
when you're a Jose Mourinho or something like that.
You know what I mean?
I know, mate. But I just think I was a bit naive with that.
It's hindsight. I mean, I'm saying I don't disagree with you now, but at half time I would have took him off. But I get it now. I fully understand it now. But listen, it's
Jenky's that stubborn Ox, he would do that again. Jenky would still go with a guy sitting in a yellow card the way that referee was, or Jenky would take learnings for it.
I think you like to think he's always learning. I think the thing is that in modern football, you've got to use your substitutes, mate. Whereas when back in the day, when Fox was a boy, you had 9 subs, and then Fox was a man, you had 1 sub, and then it went to 2 subs. Now you can put on 5 subs, mate, off a team. So it's a big part of the game. It's no to keep somebody on the bench just in case somebody gets hurt. You can make 4 subs and still have somebody's cover to go on if somebody gets hurt, So I think you've got to be smart with your substitutions. It's a major part of the game now, GP.
Agree, mate. Agree, and that's why I was asking that question, because I think Clement's this type of guy that is stubborn, and wouldn't he would go with that again. If he had the same decision to make, I bet you would put Yefty back on. But that, to me, again, just leaves him open to criticism, because it seems to be that probably in a game that we really need to win, is he going to do the right thing, or is he going to, shoot himself in the foot a lot more than what he wins? That's my concern.
I mean, the common thing for me was Jeffy was up that high. He might have brushed the guy's face, he might have brushed it, and I've never watched it that back, but my initial thoughts, and when I seen it back on the night, mate, was that it wasn't even a foul. So, listen, because of the first booking, and if he'd have made the exact same tackle again, I think, and stabbed to the guy's foot, accidentally, I may add, you maybe say, that was a bit naive, but it was so different and so innocuous, mate, that it was so bad. I don't know how we can, but there's only one person to blame. It's the referee. Right, okay, Mr. Fox is coming out to join us now. I got a question for us. This might be a melter, GP.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can. Are you still looking for that person? Are you still looking for that Amazon driver?
Oh, I put an advert out. If MD sees any kids in the Rutherglen Burnside area selling scones, could they report it to me immediately, please? Okay. They made off with my scone mix at my door this morning. Anyway.
Just out of curiosity, mate, do you have jam and cream on your scones, mate, or just butter?
Oh, I have loads of things, mate, on my scones.
Okay, mate, carry on.
Anyway, my wee question is, don't know if it'll be worthwhile discussing. Has social media been good or bad for football fans? And that, I mean, do you take your opinions for social media platforms including this platform? Do you follow special people on Twitter and take their word as gospel on quite a lot of things to do with football? Or was it better off in the old days when you just had decent sports journalists reporting truth about a game that they waxed lyrical about in the old days, instead of the kid-on con men who write football reports just full of innuendos and rubbish now? That's my question to you.
A nice easy one for you, GB.
I know. I don't know where to start because social media is that diverse, Ox. I mean, it's,
Okay, all right, mate. Right. Obviously, where do you get your Rangers news, mate? Where do you go for your Rangers news? Okay.
To be fair, Ox, I would say in probably the last 5 to 6 years, I've been getting all my Rangers news for the fan media. You know what I mean? So, like say your Heart and Hand and other outlets, I'll not say it because folk will no like it. But, and like it's on here as well, listening to the boys for what they pick up and stuff like that. A lot of my news comes for there.
Do you look at the traditional red tops? Would you look at them? Would you look at them online?
No, Ox, and the reason for that is that it seems to be that they've fell away on, like what Fox is touching on there with the social media aspect. It seems to be that people are getting the stories quicker now.
Have you stopped looking at them since you've done away with the pictures, mate?
Oh, the top shelf, of course. No, no, I still got my role.
The red tops.
Oh, right, the tops. Aye, no. Still have a wee nosy every now and then, mate. I think, are we talking about the same kind of social stuff here?
I think I'm looking at the newspapers, mate. You're looking at a different magazine altogether.
I thought that's what you're trying to get at, but I wasn't sure because I thought we're talking about a roll in the top
red
shelf,
tops
man.
Your Sun, traditionally the Sun, Daily Record, Daily Mirror. Yeah.
Right. No, I don't look at them.
If you like the working class papers, if you like, yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't divulge in the papers anymore at Oxford or on their social medias because it seems to be all the days still the fan media stories after they've been announced. So there doesn't seem to be anything new anymore. They don't seem to have that same kind of intel anymore, which is probably a good thing, Ox. But I'm there for
in modern. You're a modern man, yeah. Modern man, you. Yes. Right. Can you ever keep up with Twitter? How can you keep up with the pace of Twitter? The time a story breaks and a journalist goes to write about it, it's ruined the world and back again, isn't it? Look at tonight. Nobody knows, and I don't know what's going on. The boy Genius, the story's broken about him being sacked by the BBC. And how quickly has that been ruined social media? Newspapers can't compete with that, can they?
No, they can't, Ox. In times gone by, they would have contacted
That's a story, but where do you get your information? Do you look at the club's site at all? I'm not trying to catch you, it's just to back up Fox's question.
The club side, maybe for the interviews or what it says, keep them in tappy, like say, don't know, new merchandise and stuff like that, I'd probably go straight to the club. But for transfer news or rumours or what's going on behind closed doors kind of thing, it's all fan media, Ox, that I would say I follow now because they seem to be in the know more than what the papers are.
Can I just come back in there, right? I think you're missing a wee bit of the point I'm making is some people follow people on Twitter who are highly critical of the club. Some people follow ones that are what they call happy clappers, right? And I was just wondering how it changes the opinions of people. Normal, sane people, I mean, you get a rumour starts, for instance, we're interested in this player from abroad, worth X amount of money. And then the next thing a post goes up, Rangers can't afford him. And then the battle starts and it all goes dead negative. And at the end of the day, the board get the blame for it. And that's the sort of thing. It changes opinions of people very quickly.
Or the big story it's broke for the stadium. Potentially, we're not going to be back into January. People are getting really upset. And likely so getting upset because we're not on at all, Fox. But what you're saying, things grow arms and legs, yeah?
Aye, I mean, for me, that was bang out of order, mate. If you can remember back with Ibrox when the disabled people went in the wee blue cars. Aye. And done certain things to watch the game. And then they've waited all that time to get facilities at Ibrox. It gets delayed by 5 weeks and everybody's gone mental. Where these people have been waiting most of their lifetime to get a decent dry seat at Ibrox. That's the sort of thing I mean.
GP is the social media. Do you make up your main mind or do you take your thoughts for that, mate? I'm not putting you on the spot, mate. I'll give you my thoughts on it.
No, I mean, ultimately I make up my own mind on it. Like, I kind of try and gather all the facts first on a story, and then I'll make a final decision on it, whether it's a board's fault or not.
Or you phone somebody.
to confirm before I open my mouth, aye.
Aye. Listen, I think social media is obviously it's not going to get away. It's only going to get bigger, Fox. And you will chase your tail because you don't know who everybody is. You don't know the source. You don't know where it comes from. And if nothing is taught us in the last few weeks, people put untruths on social media, and it's a whole different argument, right or wrongly, and then ended up in the jail, because so you're getting the same in the football world. The rumour becomes fact. I don't know how you stop it now, Fox. I don't know how you get that genie back in the bottle. I think the press, it's just something that's been killed by the internet, mate.
Fair enough. It was only a wee comment to get a wee subject going, mate. Thanks anyway.
You know me, I only deal in facts. I've never spread any rumours about you.
Aye, that'll be right.
We always stick to the facts with Fox, GB, don't we?
Aye, because he'll get you, mate. He'll get you with his scones.
Yeah. If I told the truth about Fox and didn't do the rumours, that would get me in trouble, GB.
It'd be straight on here confirming or denying it, Ox. You know that.
No. Fox, you're of a slightly different generation, and you're very modern thinking in your outlook. Do you think it's a good or a bad thing for the sport? What's your take on it?
Well, I used to enjoy just sitting in a pub, maybe 3 or 4 people, and that's where I formed my opinions. You could have an honest debate face to face with people, but nowadays, reading the forums, you have to go through a lot of absolute nonsense before you get a decent post at times, That's what I don't like about it.
But what about when people are trying you out so you can sit around the table for an honest dialogue and you can't find your phone because it's in the fridge?
You would bring that up, wouldn't you?
Is that a rumour, or is it true, or is it a social media conspiracy?
It was accidental, mate. I was loading Coke into the fridge and I happened to put my phone in with it. Right, it's okay. You don't need to go taking a rabbit out me now. Come on.
No, just if you missed out the debate on the table. But I can never either confirm or deny that story, GB.
Well, that's the thing, Ox. Everybody knows that as a reporter, like anybody that's their own site at the time can take a photograph, upload it, and they've got all the hits and all the likes and all that for it. You mean? And I think that side it kind of wastes the, like, see the unveilings and stuff like that, where folk, like, as soon as there's a rumour, then they're following flights and and like I says, they're trying to see where a motor's gone and all that carry on. Whereas before, you never know a player was there until he jumped out a motor and it was standing outside Ibrox and stuff like that. Whereas now they follow like the previous club one, like you say, is Twitter, and they see when they've announced that he's away and stuff like that. And I mean, granted, the big tagline now is that nothing's confirmed until the scarf's above the head, and that's the new way now. Until you see that photograph, then it's not confirmed. But there's hundreds of leaks now. That's the thing.
All right.
Right, enough eyes. It's time for a tune.
Right, get yourself in mute. We're going to have a tune.
All along the walls of the Ibrox halls are pictures of legends of old, making history for the world to see. The stories of glories unfold. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever, and for always. We are Rangers through and through. Well, the legends come and the legends go, but Rangers live on just the same. For a new one's born when the blue shirts won, and we all remember their name. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever, and for always. We are Rangers through and through. And there is no doubt what we're all about when we face the world and say, bring it on some more, 'cause you know for sure that we don't do walk away. We don't do walk away. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever, and for always. We are Rangers through and through. We are the legendary Rangers. We wear the legendary blue. Today, forever, and for always. We are Rangers through and through.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
I think it's just changing circumstances. GB changed the world, didn't it? Twitter, so you'll never keep up with it.
No, Knox. Imagine folks call me Isaac. I'm trying to reply to his wee question today. I know it's lightning. Ox. Every night you go in and have a look through it and stuff like that to see if there's any new rumours or anything like that. It changes so quickly. But to be honest, it's the best way sometimes, especially that guy Fabrizio Romano, I think it is. As soon as you see a post for him, like everybody's all over it. And you would never get that information if you didn't have social media.
I think it's just so instant, mate. It goes that quick, yeah. You know, the radios and TVs, 15 minutes in that world is just spread to, you know, so many hundreds of thousands of people so quick, and then it just grows out so quickly. And there is sources that when they that people trust. You know, I look at a lot of the same stuff all the time to see if I see any movement or things are picking up traction or whatever. But I still make up my own mind on individuals and about the game and that. But I don't think with transfers and that, mate, it's never done. It's done. You know, because there's so many factors involved. I mean, a guy could get off the plane at Glasgow, come to sign for us, and somebody says, we'll triple your wages. What's going to happen?
He's got to about turn and go elsewhere, isn't it? Well, that's happened a few times with Chelsea and Tottenham, hasn't it?
It happens everywhere, mate. You just don't hear about it.
Aye, that's it. Well, even see when you look back when we were looking for a manager after Beale, and it was constantly what you call it, the boy for Australia and Frank Lampard. It was like back and forth. There was not one mention of Clement, and then it was just the tail end of it that Clement's name got mentioned. You know what I mean? So it just shows you like how like folks' opinions, like you're saying, can change, because like folk were arguing left, right, and centre about it should be Lampard, it should be I can't remember that guy's name again. For Australia that we're looking at, boy, it worked under. He used to play for us, didn't he?
I know what you mean. I'll come with me.
I'm the same. But him anyway.
He played for us in McLeish, maybe. Can't remember. Muscat. Kevin Muscat.
Muscat. Aye. So all the focus and negativity was around they two. And then until Clement came in, and then Clement's came in, and he's got a kind of social media side as well that he posts on, which is strange for a manager, because I think he's kind of been I know Beale was on socials and stuff like that, but Clement's more, you can tell that he's got his like kind of own professional one, his own one that he posts on and stuff like that. So,
I'm glad you mentioned Michael Beale. I'm saying I read in social media, never heard the interview, but I believe that he said that he didn't want to come. He made a mistake coming to the club, and if he knew he wouldn't have came. Funny, I feel the exact same about you, Michael. Anyway.
I know. Some stuff that you're coming out with, the whole big Fashion Sakala and stuff like that. Fashion Sakala seems a genuine, big, happy guy. I mean, and I would trust what he said initially rather than what Beale said, unfortunately. But we digress, Ox.
Mrs. Sakala might be a different story.
Well, this is the whole thing about social media, isn't it?
Yes, it's only pure speculation, yes. Mm-hmm. Listen, one of our regular listeners now in the last few months, he's came to the show late, and he has got a lot to answer for us concerning the show, and I will, when I ever meet him, I will have a word with him. You know, you can pick your friends, but not your relations. However, very, 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 very happy returns to Mr. AK Senior, who unbelievably is younger than his boy. I don't know how that works, GB.
Must be one of these Benjamin Button things.
I don't know how it works, but Mr. AK Senior, very happy returns, and we always like to have you on. He's at least one of the family talk sets.
You'll be phoning in tonight, though.
No, the two will be phoning in. No, one of the best AK as well. He knows I'm only pulling his leg. You know, it's social media. Not everybody says true. GP.
That's it. It's all about opinions. But do you think it's diluted down the importance to, like, even like the young fans, Ox, now they're so connected that they can get to see their heroes, whereas before to even get a signature, or like even when you look at merchandise and stuff like that now, that you can go in and do like that 5 stars and you can buy a tap with a signature on it, whereas before it was you had to kind of stand all day and wait for your hero to come out and get your signature and your wee book and go up the road kind of thing, and you'd stand there in all weathers for it. And I think there's been a bit of that as well, that it's kind of diluted they kind of things down. Granted, folk get to see their heroes probably more often, but I don't know if it's kind of took away that kind of special side of it.
I think there's pluses and minuses for it. I think if you're a star and you're on the rise, mate, We'll use somebody that you mentioned, yeah, at the start of the show. You liked him, Todd Cantwell. When he came into the club at first, the initial, I remember the video that done the rounds. He was outside with a young boy, and the young boy spotted him. It was fabulous. You know, and you seen Todd get out of the boy, and the wee boy was all well made up. It was spread out social media. It was a great thing, and people were looking at Todd's tweets and different, well, I don't know if it was tweets, Instagram or whatever he does, GB, and thinking, oh, he's a funny guy. But if you don't do it on the park, all these things flip, mate. And it's the same as back in the day. If you take like what players done in the past, maybe misbehaved or whatever, it's as long as you've done it on the park, you get away with a lot off the park. And social media is a new behaving off the park, JP.
No, I agree, Ox. The social media side can kill a kind of Rangers career in a sense, and Cantwell's probably a fine example of that. All his posts were all.
If he was doing it on the park, mate, they would batten. Well, they would maybe laugh or whatever, and they wouldn't get involved if you're not doing it on the park.
Well, and one thing, like the post that Cantwell done about the kind of Hearts player saying Shushburger and stuff like that, I think Rangers fans would have been all behind that. They'd been laughing their head off if Cantwell had scored a hat-trick that day or something like that. Whereas, like you say, when he's not performing, folk are nitpicking on it. Again, it gives opposition fans ammunition as well, especially when he posted that picture of him standing with the shirt, the shorts on, and he changed it to 56 on the shorts and stuff like that. You know, I mean, for me, when I seen that at the time, you're like, well, you're kind of leaving yourself open, but you better deliver, kind of thing. I like it. I like that you've got that confidence, but you need to show it.
If you deliver, everything's fine, isn't it?
Aye. Mm-hmm. If it does, it comes back to haunt you. And I think that's what's happened. I think really he needs to kind of look at that now for the sake of his career, because a lot of time it's been that. Even the Norwich fans as well kind of went down a path with him that they were all in his back. And it was all because of social media, because he was promising things that never delivered. You know what I mean? And that can be on the team as well. He could be in amongst a poor squad. And that's where you just need to keep your ammunition dry. When you look at young Barn, he's came in, he's like, I'm not interested in that. I'm just interested in playing football and showing what I can do on the park. And let's face it, boys not put a foot wrong. You know what I mean? It's nobody chasing him. The Aberdeen fans are not chasing him on social media and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? He's solely focused on Glasgow Rangers.
Aye. I think if you stopped the season now for us, he would get player of the season, mate.
I would hope so, because like I say, he's the only one that I can say that's signing-wise has came in, hit the ground running in years and showed that he's here to stay for the long term and own a shirt. I think Steven Gerrard said that when he came into that first team at Liverpool, he just wanted to push players out the road and grab a shirt. Barnes seems to have that same kind of attitude, and that's what I like to hear. I want to see a boy like that come in and say, well, I'm going to take the shirt off of you. You're not keeping that shirt. And we need more of that, Ox. We need boys in there, because that's what will win us, like I say, trophies again.
Are you saying we need to sign more Scotsmen?
Aye, well, more Scotsmen that know the league, Ox. I think there's, if we're needing to cut a wage bill, I think we can, like I says, look within our own league and pick up a couple of gems that will help us strengthen the squad, Ox. I'm not saying that they're going to be the best players, but in the past, when you look at it, we've signed, like say, Big Marv, you know what I mean? And he done a job, Ox. He got us a title. And that's maybe what we need to start looking at again. We need to sign boys that will get us there the line. I mean, Thompson as well, Stephen Thompson, signed him, and at the time you laugh, he's murder. But yeah, again, he contributed and got us there the line, got us a goal, and it won us a title. You know what I mean? So it's these kind of players, like I says, you think maybe nothing of, but they're a cheap option, Ox, and they're not going to cost the world.
Don't know. Kevin Thompson's quite a few quid back in the day. That Hibs team, the guys were on for a fair chunk of money, you know. And Thompson, I think, was a few million. I can't remember the amount.
Kevin Thompson. I was talking about the other one, the Stevie Thompson. Aye.
Aye. You came in and you had to go, yeah. Listen, I just think we have to be a bit smarter. But listen, come and join us. Give your thoughts. 0141 356 1972. Phone in. Any subject at all, of course. I'm just going to move on to Saturday's game against Ross County. First one mentioned that actually, GB. Obviously, they're all big games. It's we've not got these European ties before and after it. We've got a free week, unfortunately, in some respects. But we've got to make the most of it, get a result on Saturday, and prepare for next Saturday. But we kind of look that far ahead. Let's just concentrate this weekend and go out there and do the business, mate.
Go out there and build the momentum, Ox, that you always keep saying that we need. Go out there and get a good performance, get a good win. And like I says, this gets more minutes into these new signings and stuff like that. It will be interesting to see how the injuries are looking for this weekend. I certainly wouldn't be risking folk this weekend, Ox, if we can save them for the following week. But no, I think like I says, it's time for people to step up again. And like I says, just get the win and keep the points on the board. And we need to keep the pressure there, Ox. There's no point in us turning up and just making it too easy for them. We've got to, like I says, go out there and show that even with a young squad and maybe is no totally settled yet, that we've still got a bit of fight in us.
Oh, listen, mate, we won on Saturday. We've took 7 out of 9 at the start of the league campaign, drew at Hearts. Obviously, their form's no spectacular neither. And then we go there, hopefully with a springboard and people start getting fitter, and we don't need minutes in legs because people are not playing 2 games in a week and they're fit and ready to go, and there's no energy problems. And then after that game, it's international break, and we're no loaded with internationalists now, GB, are we? We've got some, but we're no loaded, eh?
No, and it again gives us time, Ox, and I think that's what the squad needs. And the manager seems to say that time and patience. And it gives the manager time in that international break, like he says. Hopefully, a lot of the squad are still there. It gives them time to get a better understanding. And like I says, we just need to keep the pressure up, Ox, and that's why this weekend isn't a very important game. As Bridgeman keeps saying, it's the biggest game of the season. We've got to make sure we win it and we keep the pace up, Ox, because anything can happen in all form, as we've said before. I think I said that on Tuesday to the boys that say it's their side, there's not been a lot of negativity, but you imagine we went there and got a result, how that would flip our season. You know what I mean? How much confidence we would gain for that. But for us to get that, we need to deal with this weekend first to put that kind of pressure on them.
Of course. Aye, we need to get and win. My problem is, listen, at the end of the season and this season, mate, we don't look as if we haven't been. We should have scored a few goals in the first half on Saturday, and the game would have been different. We should have scored, but we haven't looked consistently scoring. We've had opportunities, like Dessers at Tynecastle when they hit the post bar, and they had another couple of opportunities in the first half. But we've not consistently looked as if we're going to score goals, and that we need to get that we've got a constant threat,
Aye, we're hesitant, Ox, at times, aren't we, in front of goal for some reason, and it's just got to take, don't get me wrong, Ox, with the amount of chances that we did create, there's got to be a team that's got to get a scalping soon, hopefully.
Mm-hmm. All right, talking about scalping. Evening, Bob, Jack.
Good evening, Ox. How you doing, pal?
Good, mate, good.
That's good to hear from you. I just said to Terry there, I'll ask Annie, you heard the rumour about Cantwell leaving?
Aye, mate, I'll go to our social media expert, GB.
Well, I'm sorry, Bob Jer, on this one. I've no. The only last rumour I heard about Cantwell was that Transport, wasn't it, in Turkey, that our feeder club that seems to be the new was interested in taking him again. So that's the latest I've heard, mate, that they're back in for him. But again, It's a strange move if he goes away out there.
I don't see him going. Well, it's up to him, right enough. But, he can come and sit down at the Porth with me then if he wants. I got a phone call at lunchtime saying that Nottingham Forest were thinking of putting a bid in for him, but I didn't see that happen. I don't see that happen. I just thought of any use I'd heard there, but apparently not.
I've been hearing that for a couple of weeks now, Bob Ger, that he's in the throes of, different, but no club's been confirmed. Obviously, the Turkish one was all some of the sites and some of the.
Aye, that was
but listen, nothing confirmed about a club. I've heard about, various clubs mentioned and all that, but I would be surprised if it was a team in the.
Aye.
But listen, if it was to be Nottingham Forest and they wanted them, and obviously you're hoping that the club will get a decent price because. Well, APL just seem to. Listen, Chelsea might as well take them. They take everybody else.
Oh, aye. I watched them on a Sunday. They were beat easy, and all the money they've spent. Anyway, that's them. You're talking about your striking problems there, and I wholeheartedly agree with you. But I feel a bit sorry for the boy Dessers. Actually, he gets a good level of stick,
if you watch it, I picked my words wisely, Bob. The term I used was firepower. I think that people have then got to step up to the mark, and I get you with the strikers, but there's got to be more chances made and more opportunities, and other people have to score as well, mate.
That's right. The goals are going to be spread around. Everybody's missing chances, not just him. I mean, Christ, he could have won about 7 or 8, nothing there on Sunday against St Johnstone. And they're going to get chances here again. Dare I say they're going to get chances here against Ross County on Saturday. And let's hope that somebody does get a thanking, does get a doing. It's long overdue if we gave somebody a hammer. So a wee confidence booster going into the Old Firm game. What about the fitness? I hear that this what's his name? The winger, Cortez, he could be on the way back.
Rumoured to be start training, Bob Ger, and obviously the modern football GB, you'll see him on the bench first.
Aye. I also trying to get minutes in his legs again, and that's what I was talking about Ox, earlier. There was saying I wouldn't be wanting to risk anybody on the basis that, like you say, we've got a full week to give them the opportunity to make the Old Firm game. But again, it would be a welcome addition considering we've got very lack of options on that left side now.
Bob Ger?
I think he's, again, I don't want to use this word rumour, but apparently he's in for these two laddies, that midfield player and the left back. Is there any substance to that? Anybody heard?
Bob Ger, as we started the show tonight, we said it's rumours, didn't we?
Aye, I know.
I
know. I'm trying to be careful not to quote it.
I started that one that you were going to be the final guest at the Taylor Swift concert last night, but then they took me up that night. You know what I mean?
All right,
But listen, I think before there's any real movement, there'll be players leave the club, but I think we're I'm not saying we're guaranteeing that, but that's what it looks like, GB.
Aye, I was surprised when the Cifuentes deal went through on that loan that we didn't move right away and got somebody in. I thought that would have maybe that kind of one out, one in would have happened, but it seems to be that we're still waiting. The big ones seems to be that the Hadji and the Cantwell to move. But don't get me wrong, the last few days that Rabbi Matondo, that's kind of, there's been a few clubs again speculated on him, so there's noise around about him now. So you might think that he'll be the first one to move on before the likes of Cantwell, which would be welcome, Bob Ger, because Rabbi, again, he's had plenty of opportunities. He's been here a good couple of years now under a few different managers.
Big
he's
earner.
Still just no
big earner.
Big earner. He's still just he's no.
Plus,
he's no broke the. He's not brought that form that what we must have seen to bring him here in the first place, Bob Chair, which is a shame because at times, see when you see him running forward and stuff like that, with the pace he's got, he could be an absolutely brilliant player, but it's always the same as right. It's the end product never seems to be there, and we need guys that are going to go in and be deadly, just like we've seen with Cherney. I mean, how he can grab the ball and turn and actually hit a decent shot and a deadly shot. I mean, that again, his goal kind of changed the game the other week there. So he's got that in his locker, and he's only been in the door 2 minutes. Rabbi Matondo's been here 3 seasons, I think, now, and we've seen. And we've only seen that one spectacular goal for him against Celtic.
He tries it all the time. One trick pony. Move inside, try and hit the ball with his right foot. And 10 times out of 10, or 9.5 times out of 10, it's go sailing over the bar, I know. And he tends to look down all the time, no look up. I don't know, I never played at that level, but I can play a simple pass. Rabbi Matondo seems to labour like that sometimes. He can go by folk. He's got pace, that's his only asset. So if he wants to leave, we're getting a boy with a bit of class.
It'd be interesting to see what he does, because would it be a left back he goes for, or would it be a left-sided forward if you were replaced Matondo? What are you thinking there, GB, because of this? And Bob Jack can chip in. Because Jeff did at the start of the season, I didn't think he'd be one of our more forward-thinking players, and when you see him going forward, would you have him playing one up rather than left back, GB?
I mean, if young Ridvan was fit, Ox, I would have him the one up, but obviously Ridvan's no fit. I think we've got cover there. Again, Ox, that's what I'm saying. We've probably got enough in there that can deal with the SPFL. And I think the money needs to be, like you say, we're crying out for goals, Ox. So it's got to be spent on attacking players, mate, for me.
Bob Joe.
I would agree with that. Because that lot up the road, they seem to score goals for all the shop. And they've signed another striker as you can. But they've been forced into it, I think. But, we do need to start potting the goals to keep up with them. Goals are important at this point these days, especially in this league. So, we've always said that we play against the rest and play against them. If we can bang a few goals in against the rest and keep up with them with the goal average, well, we're doing our job. And we need another centre forward, a fit centre forward. This Danilo, he can go for me and all. He's contributed nothing to the club either. So we do need something for to give this as a hand out, aye.
Danilo, I mean, I thought he looked mobile in GB, but obviously missed a couple of chances. Yeah.
Aye, Ox, do you know, he looked... He looks as though he will, once he gets his form back and gets minutes in the legs, Ox, he will, I think, he'll be a good addition back to the team. He's got something about him, like he says, he's got a bit of trickery in there. And let's face it, before he took the injury, he was actually striking up a decent enough partnership with Cantwell. I remember that. I mean, the two of them were doing the kind of salsa dancing and all that together. So I think Danilo will just need time, but unfortunately, we've not got the time to wait about for folk to get goals, and it can't be, like you say, all in Dessers. So again, just to kind of keep us ticking air, I would much rather see us, let's say, go for somebody, whether he's an out-and-out striker or, let's say, it's an attacking winger.
Bob Joe.
Well, I think that's what the man's trying to do. He's trying to get this Portuguese lad in the winger, Seems to me, you've been quoted all sorts of figures about what he was worth. And you don't know, you've never seen him. He might hit it like everybody else, it might be a hit or miss, you don't know. But to me, Danilo, I'm afraid I don't think he's worth the money we spent on him, mate. Okay, give the guy a chance, let him get fit, but I don't think he's worth the money we spent on him.
The fairest I could say, because he's injuries, and 2 bad injuries, mate, sustained during games, I would say that the jury's still out. Would that be fair?
Well, okay, aye. fair. I mean, at the end of the day, it has been unfortunate with injuries. You've got to admit that. But
Aye.
I don't know.
I get your thoughts.
If De Niro comes out and scores a hat-trick against somebody, then that's my words jammed up in the proverbial. But we'll see. We'll see. The boys got to get back. Give him a chance, yeah.
Okay, we're moving into the last bit of the show, the last half an hour. Let's hear from these.
Why don't you give us a call on 0141 356 1972? It's your show, it's your platform. Let's hear from you.
Aye, listen, I get you. I accept your point, Bob, just so far for the outlay for Scottish football, you know. He's not done enough, but I think there's circumstances with him, but he needs to get involved and obviously get more minutes under his leg. He's not much, but if he played 45 minutes in the cup tie, he must be ready to play now. GB another week under his belt. Yeah, no excuses. Time to take the excuses away, yeah.
Yep, Rox, and it's that mentality again, isn't it? Go and grab the shot. He's only got Dessers really in front of him now, so it's up to him to kind of prove it. I don't think Let's is coming in this weekend. Danilo will push Dessers out the road, but if he gets any sniffy any minutes, Ox has got to come on and perform and show his worth. Because, like you says, if he's fit and ready, then he's got a job to do. I mean, you look back to the season where we did get our title in 55. You had Itton, you had Roof, you had Morelos, you had Hadji, Kent, and all that. Defoe, Scott Wright, not Scott Wright, Scotty Arfield. I mean, they were all contributing. Even the defenders were contributing. We just need them all to show up, Box, and like I says, help us, because it can't be odd into Dessers. It's no fair. And the guy, like he says, took plenty of pelters.
Listen, I mean, obviously, apart from the European game, the last two domestic games he scored in. You know, so you've got to be honest. That's fact. That's the numbers. You know, and the goal he scored at the weekend, a pass from Matondo after he stole the ball and done good work and slid it into Dessers. They've done everything right and put it in the net. So as far as the weekend's concerned, he got you the goal. You know, took a bit of pressure off us, and so you move on. And hopefully he scores again in the weekend. Hopefully he gets a double. I think he's got his going to run now. I've still got real problems with his play Bob Chair, but he's scoring goals.
Aye. When he gets a chance, he seems to want to take too much time, Wants to take too much time, and it's all right for me. I'm sitting looking at him playing, and it's not me who's got the chance, but to me, the boy, he does dither a bit. It came off for him in Betis last year, if you remember, when he cut inside the boy and stuck it under the keeper. He has got at the big man. And it was good of him. He turned down what seemed to be a decent move for him to America. He turned down a lot of money there, I would suppose. For he says he loves Rangers and he wants to stay. Well, that's the kind of people we want playing for the club. I feel a lot of the criticism of Big Cyril's a bit unjustified. I mean, the many goals that he scored last year, Ox, was it 21 goals or something?
21. Listen, I think some of the criticism for his play and some of the chances, if you look at his numbers, they're not the worst. Some of his play it's open for debate, GB, and I'm being polite there.
Aye, Ox. I mean, the criticism comes because, like you say, the chances missed. But again, the tactics probably highlight it more. Like we spoke about the tactics earlier, Ox. He is the only guy up there in the kind of box, so it off kind of falls on his shoulders, which is unfair again. Whereas when you've got guys week in, week out, like Scott Wright doing nothing, Rabbi Matondo doing nothing, and to be fair, John McCausland doing nothing, they don't seem to get the same criticism, which is, again, like Bob just saying, very unfair. But because of the way the tactics is set up, all the focal point goes on Dessers, and it will be the same with Danilo. If Danilo gets the shot, and he's the one that's got the responsibility to score, and he doesn't start scoring, the criticism will come Danilo's way, Ox. There'll be folks shouting for him to leave the club.
Well, I think it's...
There you go,
I
Bob.
was
Yeah.
going to say there. See these opposing managers, what do they say to themselves? Right, shut down dissers and you can beat them. You know, I mean, we need an alternative to them. Definitely. But to make these people think. Because if you were an opposing manager, that's what you would say to yourself. Well, if I can eliminate the threat of dissers, I have a chance of taking something for the Rangers. So, I like to say, I say to the support that the criticism is so totally unjustified, but it is a good bit unjustified. He's done all right for us, a big man. And if he turned down a respectable move, fair play him, get behind him.
Well, I'll guard against that by saying he turned down a move, allegedly, Bob Jim.
Well, allegedly, aye. Allegedly. Again, we get back to that word rumours, but I think he said himself that he didn't want to leave.
Aye.
Partly said it himself.
I think you nailed it. I think Dessers will start at the weekend, GB.
I think so too. He's like you say, he's a man on form. He's, by the way, he's always fit and available. Ox, we can't criticise him for that. He's always there. And to be fair to him, he does always give his all, right? And it's just like it says. I think it's purely on a lot of the chances that have maybe been the easier chances for him to put away, and he scores the harder ones.
Games. You've got to score goals in big games, mate. That's where you're judged.
Aye, and I think between this weekend and next weekend's massive for him, mate. I think if he, say for talking sake, he got a goal at Parkhead, it might again just endear him more to the Rangers fans. I think he really does need it, to be honest. And if there's any guy that deserves it more, it's probably him, to be fair. And I think once he gets that kind of thing, then you will probably see even better form for him, because he'll kind of have that kind of, I hate to say the word, like monkey off the back kind of thing. I think he's like you say, this needs the big moment to win a game, Mox, and I think that'll be him away. He'll be, that's his flying after that, hopefully.
Listen, I've been as critical as anybody. Can't fault his attitude, can't fault his fitness for turning up every week. But problems with his play, his hold-up play, sometimes his passing. In fact, the last couple of games, some of his flicks have been all right. And the two domestic games, he scored goals. The last two domestic games, he's been on target. So his actual ratios, not the worst. But I think, as you pointed out, Bob, others have got to start contributing, making chances and getting in the box as well.
They must. Everybody, you say the goals are not getting spread out enough throughout the team. It's not happening. All right, that youngin scored a good goal against St Johnstone, flying out of the keeper. It's not happening regularly enough, though. This Cherny might do all right once he gets a couple of games under his belt. Luke's not a bad player, the boy. It was a bonny goal he scored against Motherwell.
I thought he had a good game against Motherwell, a good hour against Motherwell, and I thought he had a poor hour against St Johnstone. There you go.
Aye, you would say he didn't look too hot against St Johnstone, eh?
Only the way I seen it.
Well, it's the way I've seen it as well, Ox. I thought so as well. I expected more for him against St Johnstone. But you don't know what the boy's fitness level is.
Well, again,
so we'll see this weekend when he plays. You'll see this weekend when he plays against similar opposition in Ross County. Eh?
Aye. Again, that's another week under the belt, another training, but a rest. Because there's no big week game. The whole club, the whole team should be fit up. GP, there's no excuses now. We've not had that way to Europe.
Yeah.
No, there was a thing that was creeping about in the last couple of games with folks saying the folk look tired and all that. And you're like, no. Not at the start of the season. Like I says, we should be flying. I mean, it was one of the things Clement said, that there would be a hard pre-season and it would be fit and ready for 2 games a week and all that, carry on. Like he says, that the team's got another week under the belt, journey and all that, building up better understandings with the players that's in front of them and behind them. So it should, like he says, Clement's give a target. We should see the fruits of that labour come start of October. So week in week we should be seeing improvement, Ox.
Mm-hmm. Aye. Bob Gerrard, obviously you want three points first and foremost, but I would like us to go and play well on Saturday and score a few goals, yeah, and sort of lift the gloom, no struggle, if that makes sense.
Of course it makes sense. I mean, hopefully you see us struggling. It's not a position like that, of course, it's the league last year. That fateful period with Motherwell, Dundee and Ross County. We've got to bury these teams, rack up the goals, rack up the points, because that's what they do. That's what wins them the league. So we've got to be exactly the same. Get these problems ironed out where the team is going to punish these teams severely. That's go to harm. If you've got any aspirations about winning the championship, that's what you've got to do in Scotland. If you obviously remember the old firm, you've got to keep up with them. Again, it's difficult. It's easier said than done, but you'd like to think the Rangers are playing these people and we could put a good few goals by them. Did you see the chances they missed on Sunday? It was unbelievable. Teams of old would have scored 5 or 6 on them. So I'm not decrying Ross County, and I'm not saying anything's a foregone conclusion. It's a job that's got to be done. But we've got to go out here on Saturday, get the sleeves rolled up. Everybody should be fair. Go for it and steamroller them 3 or 4. We're capable of it, so let's do it.
Yeah. Aye. GB.
I totally agree, Bob Gerrard. I think, like you say, Ross County, we shouldn't be worried about Ross County technically home, mate. I mean, so I think it's all about, like I says, Rangers going out there, putting these kind of patterns of play together and getting, like I says, the understanding, getting the fruits of their rewards, Bob Gerrard, because like he says, the chances they're creating are good chances. I mean, good bits of play building up and all that. You know what I mean? Like I says, young Barnes been involved in a couple of good chances getting made and all that, and he's no seen the end product half of his strikers and stuff like that in front of him. So you're just hoping, like I says, it all clicks, and let's face it, we all want a kind of good result and good performance going into the Old Firm, because I think like I says, it just breeds that bit of doubt as well across the city because if you go in there and you're scraping results, then you have the other side that think that it's going to be a walk in the park. Whereas if we go out there and make a statement this weekend, maybe like Ox says, a 3 or 4-0 or something like that, and a brilliant performance, then it's game on for the following week.
No, absolutely.
First and foremost, the 3 points. But I think we're due a performance and a result, and we'd want to see. I think Fox used the term, we want to see 2 halves of football, Bob. Yeah, we want us to play well in the first half and play well in the second. For instance, can we go out and win the 2 halves 2-0, and then you walk away with a 4-0 comfortable victory. You're played without any pressure, and you maybe took people off and put substitutes on. Ideal.
Ideal.
But first and foremost, the 3 points.
Oh, that's the most important thing, is to win. I mean, it's sorry talking about scoring goals and drubbing the flair with them and what have you, but you've got to win first and foremost. If it's 1-0 or 2-0, well, so be it. You've won the game. But I think what we're trying to say here is an impressive performance, looking good, looking organised. And they could turn around and say, oh, well, they looked all right and said that they're going to be a threat to us a week on Sunday. The whole firm game always takes care of itself. So when that comes around, well, that's up for discussion and all, of course. But I've got this fixture on Saturday, and let's go for it, and let's do the business, Rangers. And hopefully this is the last game at Hampden. You don't know, though. Can I say anything else?
I am still here, mate. I potentially.
I'm impressed with that Hefty. I think that laddie is going to be a really good player for Rangers. Once he gets a few more games.
Aye. I don't know where you play him, Bob Gerrard. I don't know if he looks a natural left back. If you're looking for somebody to defend, I don't think he smells danger. But he's definitely got. I don't know. He's just got enthusiasm about going forward. It's refreshing, mate.
Aye, he's young, and I think he's a really good player, that laddie. Or he will be. And that young Baron, he's another plus point. He's a new Alec McDonald, I think. He's a good player, that laddie. It's still all doom and gloom.
That's a big compliment.
A huge compliment.
Bob Jarrett, I agree. Like Kim Thompson's even spoke really well about young Barn when he had them at Celtic Hearts and stuff like that. It just shows you, doesn't it, we giving a boy a chance and trust in the process, how you can actually end up with a gem in your team. And it's something like I says, I think even our academy needs to do better. We just sometimes have to trust the process and allow them to flourish. And hopefully, Cumberland seems to be a manager that wants that. So hopefully, in the seasons to come, we'll see the fruits of that kind of labour for us as well.
Well, let's hope so. Eh? There is a few diamonds, well, I say diamonds, but there's a few good ones in there. A laddie Fraser looks all right, so he could be a capable left back. He'll come through.
You done all right when you come on at the weekend. You done all right when you come on at the weekend. Just a snapshot for the poll, GB. Roughly 80% said it's a crap time, 20% went for it, yeah?
No surprise, Enoch, sure.
I was a bit surprised.
The Rangers dads have definitely not been voting for that.
Aye, wouldn't be my choice, but there you go. But aye, Bob Ger. Before we come on, GB was talking a lot about this number 10, the sort of creative role in the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and at the moment, we're obviously Hadji and Cam Milner involved, so we'll part them. Young Rowley, I don't think is going to come in. You're left with Matondo and Lawrence. Now, Lawrence's fitness record's not the best. Sorry, Matondo. Diamandi and Lawrence that are potentially playing that area. Lawrence's fitness record's not the best. We don't know what Diamandi's best position is because we've not seen that much of him. We've seen a bit of him, but not that much of him. Any thoughts in that area of the pitch?
Well, we got beaten in the semi-final of the League Cup for them, right? Season before last. And I think the midfield that day was Kamara. It was Lawrence playing that. No, Kamara. And I think we were in the last days. Well, we see this memory of mine also is getting worse. So. They're saying that Rangers midfielders that day were towing caravans. Well, Tom Lawrence definitely tows a caravan. We need somebody with more pace, more digging there. He's another you never go out the door for me.
So I don't disagree with you, but we can't get everybody out the door. GB?
No, can't.
He's a decent quality player, Ox, but again, it's the leg side of things. Do you know the sad thing about it, when you seen him in these kind of derby highlights and stuff like that, and he was a captain there and stuff, and how he was scoring goals down there, it looked as though he had like pace about him and he could move well around the park. But maybe it's just, again, he needs time to get his fitness up, because let's face it, last season was kind of a season for him. He was Stoke starting again, just coming back from a bad injury. And then you've got, like I says, this season he is getting more game time this season because he played a lot in the pre-seasons as well. So, I think
it'd be interesting how fit they'd be if they go to SSP if they weren't playing, mate.
I know. But that's all sports science thing as well. Like I says, it seems to be you need to watch with their minutes and all that carry on. But Lawrence seems to be a guy that just needs games, and he has got a bit of magic about him, Mox, at times. So I'd rather have him than not have him. He seems to be a guy that's, like I says, is trying to contribute to the team.
Right. I'm sure that others will maybe debate that, and we'll see where it goes, mate. But interesting. I think he's a certainty to start of the weekend. Tom Lawrence, to be fair, it's still 2 days to the game. We could get 6 players injured between now and then, Bob Jet.
Oh, your track record, it wouldn't surprise me. I think that's a bugbear. We were all wondering where all these damned injuries are coming from. That's never ended. Never ending.
But
It's got to end
do you think
sometime.
Lawrence will start at the weekend, mate?
I think he may do, aye.
Mm-hmm.
Aye. What was up that he left him out on Sunday? He just wanted to rest him or something? I don't know.
I would imagine. I'm assuming he wasn't injured, but I imagine that was the case. GB, is there certainty to start the weekend for you?
Aye, I think so. Ox. He's had his rest, hasn't he? So I would imagine he comes straight back in. Like you says, it's the other injuries that's concerned. I think, like it says, we're lost and proper, aren't we? So the defence has got to look different again, unfortunately.
Well, we might get an update about that tomorrow, mate. Yeah, see where it goes, yeah. You know, hopefully it's not as bad. You know, hopefully.
You would think Balogun would be ready to play again, eh? It all depends on the injury, right enough. I don't know what's up with.
Listen, mate, I think we need a centre-half in, mate, and Balogun's just for cover. I think we need another one in Bob Chair, you know.
Aye,
but,
definitely.
Yeah, the people who run the club might say, well, what you want 5 centre-halves for? You know, so, I don't know.
Aye, that's very true. Aye, it's fun. Sorry,
Sorry, Bob Jared. No, I was just jumping because we said about centre halves. That Nasala, I mean, he had a kind of game in the pre-season. You're thinking, like, you think the game against St Johnstone would have been a good weekend to get him in amongst the team, but he seems to be only playing for the B team, which is again it's a bit of disappointment considering we've signed him for AC Milan. You mean? It's,
I remember I don't think he played a game for AC Milan. You know, I've not checked that out, but I don't think he played a game. He bought somebody for the youth team, maybe, and he thinks got a bit of potential. I thought he'd done all right at Birmingham, mate. He made a ricket right at the start and grew into the game, didn't mind the tackle. The physical side of the game looked raw. I think he's in the place where he should be, and hopefully, if maybe he starts being consistent in that, he can start challenging for the bench and go ahead of some of the players, the established players. But then we've got the problem. We've got to get rid of some of them, you know.
Aye, especially like the Oxford playing Ben Davis and all that. You mean?
Mm-hmm. Bob Chair.
Hope that lad is not going to turn out to be another Yezeko.
No, but he could be another Calvin Bassey.
He might be. Let's hope so.
That's what you don't know, mate. That's a gamble you go all the time, innit? You know, I seen Big Bassey's fresh air kick last Friday night. I don't know if anybody else seen that.
Different level, isn't it?
You never gave that Rashford a sniff, Hawks.
No, I like Big Bassey. I mean, that period, for that 6-month period, he was a machine.
Oh, aye.
But the 6 months before that, you'd have took tuppence for him, but it just shows you how football works out, GB, doesn't it?
Aye.
It does, Oxen. Look at Yefty as well. Like, he gets his moment and gets papped into that left side and totally shines. And I mean, again, young player just on the team gets his opportunity. That's what I'm talking about with this boy in the Salah. Like, if he just gets a wee opportunity, we might just actually get another decent defender there that we might not have to spend money to get.
Aye, you never know, mate. You never know. He might already be there. You know, aye, interesting. You know, so we'll wait and see if there's any movement in the next couple of days. The transfer window, Bob Jair, obviously, you might see blue seats getting fitted at Ibrox as well. So things are starting to slowly come together, hopefully.
Aye. We're all sitting like crows on the high wire waiting on it happening. We've got 8 days after the morning. That's a long time in a transfer window. That'll gather momentum next week. It's starting to gather momentum in England now. Hopefully it gathers momentum for Rangers in the next week. We all can the club's name money. We're no stupid. We know that. We're very little money. But,
I think the thing is, Bob, that the money that we're taking in is because our wage bill's so high, mate. It's not that we've not got people there with money or the support, have they supported, mate? It's the FFP, our wage bill, we're paying big money to a lot of players, mate, that they've not done enough business on the pitch.
Aye, they're not contributing. No.
Aye. You know, listen, we've reached that time of the evening, Bob. You're always great to hear from you, mate.
It's it was great to be here, Ox.
Give your final thoughts, mate. Rally the troops, Bob. Give us a speech. Get the punters gone ready for the game.
Speech? Oh, I don't know. There's one thing I'll never get to support Joe but Taylor Swift. Right. I'd blow her away anyway.
Oh, nice.
I know that way. I can mere chords and all. See, I've got more money in her and all. Right? So, yeah, it's trying times for Rangers. It's a transitional period that the club's got to get itself through. It's going to take time. There's going to be bumps on the road. We all know that. We'll just have to grit our teeth and bear it, I think. But I do believe that in the end, Rangers are a huge club. We are a huge supporter, and we all love them to death. And I do believe that in the end, we will get there, and we'll get that league championship back to them.
Yeah,
they had other history to catch up with us with league championships, and they've not done it yet. So you never know, eh?
Yeah. GB.
Aye, great night. The night, Ox. Good topics that were brought up, and different parts of the Rangers that I spoke about tonight. And like I says, as the Bridgeman says, the next biggest game of the season is on its way, mate.
Yeah. Thanks to your good self, GB, for joining Rangers Radio tonight. Thanks to Fox for his call and his wisdom and his power. Thanks to Bob Jeff for joining us here in Rangers Radio. Thanks to everybody for listening. Rangers Radio will be back tomorrow night between 8 and 10, talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.